Medical disclaimer. The content of this video is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition, and always get proper treatment for serious medical conditions. Legal disclaimer. Use only legal measures to combat the virus and cooperate with government officials, first responders and healthcare workers to make the coronavirus a thing of the past and create a perfect society ASAP. Use common sense, logic and help your fellow humans if necessary, also to lower the risk of being vaccinated mandatorily ourselves and to end the pandemic as soon as possible. The objective of my videos is not to slander people nor to incite or trigger people, but to do the opposite, exposing it when people are wrongly accused and to create universal peace, world peace or just peace on earth. People are innocent till proven guilty in the court of law. One who knows of evidence must testify, not to convict anyone without a fair trial. Greetings, superior beings, greetings, supreme being. We are all the human race. Our common enemy is death. Welcome on Perfect Society. I'm Ulrich Hofmann and you're watching Top 10 COVID-19 Vaccine Adverse Events Reported to CDC's Vaccine Adverse Events Reporting System. So before I go into the top 10, I will first focus on how many people have been vaccinated worldwide to put things in perspective. And we can see that on this tracker website, BuzzFeedNews.com. So let's switch to that immediately. Okay. And turn on my VCam. So here we see BuzzFeed News. Okay. These updating charts show how many people have received a coronavirus vaccine. Follow the latest vaccination data in the US and globally. In the US, 150,273,292 doses given, so about 150 million. That's about 16.4% of the people in the US fully vaccinated via CDC. And in the world we live in, on planet Earth, 577,923,364 doses have been given, and that's about 1.7% of the global population fully vaccinated. So then we may be able to understand the numbers we see better. This is wonder.cdc.gov. I will add the link in the description. The Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System, VAERS system, of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Saving lives, protecting people, trademark, as we see in the left top corner. So here we see the top 10 for today. Today is the 31st of March 2021. And messages we can read. VAERS data in CDC Wonder are updated every Friday, hence results for the same query can change from week to week. These results are for 44,464 total events. So that's a low percentage if thus far 577 million people, almost 578 million people, have been vaccinated. 578 million doses have been given. I don't know if they count 2 shots as 1 dose given. Doses given. So it's 2 doses, or is the booster shot a separate dose? I wonder. Anyway, these results are for 44,464 total events, as we read here. Rows with 0 events reported are hidden. Use quick options above to show 0 rows. Okay, then we can see the symptoms reported to this adverse events reporting system, VAERS. And to reach this website, you can type in wonder.cdc.gov/VAERS, VAERS.html to get to this page, and then first scroll to the bottom of the page to continue on to the next page. I've shown it in previous videos how to check this for yourselves. So the symptoms are listed, the events that are reported, and the percentage of 44,464 total reported events thus far. And then people can click on this downward arrow to sort the events by reported cases, number of reported cases. So number 1 adverse event reported to the system is headache, 9,819 events reported. That's 22.08% of the total reported number of events, I think. And number 2 is pyrexia, 7,446. Pyrexia, I think that's fever, also referred to as pyrexia, is defined as having a temperature above the normal range due to an increase in the body's temperature set point. Number 3 is chills. Chills is an alternative rock band. No, that's not what we mean. Feeling of coldness occurring during a high fever, but sometimes is also a common symptom. Chills is a feeling of coldness occurring during a high fever, but sometimes is also a common symptom which occurs alone in specific people. It occurs during fever due to release of cytokines and prostaglandins as part of the inflammatory response, which increases the set point for body temperature in the hypothalamus, according to Wikipedia. Well, just chills, basically. Fatigue is the number 4 most reported adverse event in the CDC database, 7,063 events reported, 15.88%. So we see that headache is the by far most reported adverse event when it comes to the COVID-19 vaccine. Number 5 is pain, 6,417 events. Fatigue, well, that's just a feeling of tiredness, I think. And I'll switch this to English. A feeling of tiredness. It may be sudden or gradual in onset. It is a normal phenomenon if it follows prolonged physical or mental activity and resolves completely with rest. However, it may be a symptom of a medical condition if it is prolonged, severe, progressive, or occurs without provocation. Wikipedia. So then we are at number 6. Nausea. Feeling sick, nauseated. Nausea is a diffuse sensation of unease and discomfort, often perceived as an urge to vomit. Right, an urge to vomit, that was what I was not getting to yet. While not painful, it can be a debilitating symptom if prolonged and has been described as placing discomfort on the chest, upper abdomen, or back of the throat. Number 7, dizziness. An imprecise term that can refer to a sense of disorientation in space, vertigo, or lightheadedness. It can also refer to disequilibrium or a non-specific feeling such as giddiness or foolishness. Dizziness is a common medical complaint affecting 20 to 30% of persons, according to Wikipedia. Sense of disorientation in space, vertigo, lightheadedness. Pain in extremity is number 8, 4,060 reported cases, 9.13% of the total number of adverse events reported thus far. Well, with that I wonder what that means, pain in extremity. First results are leg pain when I search on pain in extremity. Extreme pain, I suppose. And I don't know where that pain would be located, what type of pain it would be. It's kind of vague to me. And then number 9 is injection site pain. 4,041 events reported. And number 10 is myalgia. So we can also look at the number of deaths. That's number 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, number 23 in the list of most common adverse events reported. 1,627 cases reported thus far, 3.66% of the total reported adverse events. And then we can also wonder if the reported events are correct. Is that after an autopsy, in the case of death, was it established with certainty that it was due to the vaccine? Because all these stories we read, they claim that it is not certain that it was due to the vaccine. So also, if it occurs immediately after a person is vaccinated, if the person has comorbidities, then it can be another disease that sort of is the drop that makes the bucket overflow. I'm live. My father is in my room. Just a moment, please. Okay. My father is off to bed early. But I thought pain in extremity, that's something people don't want to go through. And, well, everybody can access the CDC's adverse events reporting system. And I think that's a good thing, but you could calculate the percentage of people that have an adverse event. And if you look at these almost 600 million doses given, when there are only 44,464 adverse events reported, you could argue that's a very low percentage. I could calculate it fast with percentage calculator. .net to be certain. Continue with recommended cookies. Annoying that I get that screen all the time. First copy this number. Remove the commas. And then the number of adverse events. Calculate. So that's only 0.008%, rounded up, 0.0076937% of the total number of vaccinated people have reported an adverse event to the CDC database. It may be a bit behind because they're still in the process of vaccinating people. You know, so they'd use that as an argument. But now there are people, even nature.com, perhaps it's best if I start there. Many people are talking about antibody-dependent enhancement and SARS-CoV-2 vaccines and therapies. And they don't want to create vaccine hesitancy. So some of this stuff is censored. I'm using a proper disclaimer, and I keep clear this is not medical advice. But Nature.com also has reported steps to reduce the risk of aid from immunotherapies include the induction or delivery of high doses of potent neutralizing antibodies rather than lower concentrations of non-neutralizing antibodies that would be more likely to cause aid. Antibody-dependent enhancement. Non-neutralizing antibodies, aka suboptimal antibodies, cause aid. Antibody-dependent enhancement. It means that the antibodies then start providing access to our cells for the virus, for viral replication, copying its RNA into our cells. If I understand it correctly. And the long-term effects of these vaccines have never been tested. The FDA has never approved an mRNA vaccine before, a messenger RNA vaccine. And how can they claim? They cannot claim with certainty. That's my question. Can they claim with certainty that aid cannot occur when the virus starts mutating? Here on Nextstrain.org we can see how many mutations, how many clades exist of this virus. And also when you Google this, or DuckDuckGo it, or use some other search engine, then you'll find that the reports about the number of mutations that exist vary. But on Nextstrain.org we can see all these clades here in their database. And people are of course talking about the English variant, etc. And then the question is also, do they think the people need a new vaccine for each variant or for some variants, etc.? And if this is endemic, will we forever have to be vaccinated and forever maintain social distancing, home quarantining, etc.? All these WHO guidelines. So I guess that's it for this broadcast. I can't say too much about it. But I think it's just my own opinion about this matter based on the stuff that I've studied thus far. And I've been studying material since the virus broke out. And a record number of 219 CEOs left right before Tedros Adhanom, the Secretary General of the WHO, declared the COVID-19 pandemic. So I think people can also watch other doctors who have spoken about this topic. I like Dr. Vernon Coleman and Dr. Sherry Tenpenny. And I think she's not completely banned from YouTube. Let's see if I can find some of her videos. I recently saw one of her videos on YouTube. And then I select my upload date. Yes. So here we see on YouTube itself, Dr. Sheraton Penny and Tanya, the herbalist, discuss the upcoming Christian persecutions. 378 views. Natalia Zahariva. Shot in the Dark, Dr. Sheraton Penny. 5.1 thousand views 1 week ago. Surrogate of Yavashi. Paradigms. Don't know if I pronounced it correctly. Dr. Tempeni, no reversing the shirt. Go. YimTV.com. So when people search around a bit, they will find videos of Dr. Tempeni anyway. Number 1, Strange Alaskan Aloha. Okay, cool. Well, perhaps I can play his video, review it, because I was talking about Dr. Sheraton Penny, and Dr. Vernon Coleman is also awesome. His song Stand Up for Truth. But I think Dr. Sheraton Penny may very well be correct. And I've covered an IB Times article, and they basically said you can't test the Pfizer vaccine on mice. They're unsusceptible or too unsusceptible to SARS-CoV-2 virus infection. But even if it would be a valid test and the antibodies would be neutralizing, the question is if they would remain neutralizing antibodies when this virus mutates. It hasn't achieved its end mutation yet. So isn't the risk of this vaccine too big? Primum non nocere, first do no harm. The Hippocratic Oath, which they swore by Apollo, basically. I've also covered these fake Apollo moon landings and stuff. The fake Apollo moon landings of the NASA Masons. Why does it always happen when I pause a video? They always have their eyes closed and look bad, etc. Anyway, let's listen to what he has to say. Let's see, 496 views, 15 likes, and 0 dislikes. So then it can't be too bad. In theory. I can also leave my own video on to make clear that I'm reviewing this, but I have to roll, so I'll just play it.
Hi there. So I had a video that was dropped by the YouTubes. I don't know exactly why.
I don't know if they've changed it, but now when I click on the full screen, the video doesn't start playing anymore. I think that was better, then I can just click anywhere on the screen to make it start playing.
Maybe I could read into it.
Well, it still works, but I have to click twice, basically. So he was saying they've removed one of his videos. Let's listen to what else he has to say. Lots of people have had that, of course.
It a little bit more, or actually take the time to see why, even though I don't know exactly why. Maybe I could read into it a little bit more, or actually take the time to see why, even though what's the damn point? I still feel free. I don't need a piece of parchment to tell me I'm free. I was born free. I'm going to continue to be free, and no one's going to tell me what I can and can't say and do and blah, blah, blah. Of course, you try to be considerate and all this stuff. But so the video that was taken down that I recently did right before Patty's Day was also another individual, old man in a chair. I put him on there. I was talking about him. It was pretty much the whole video was about him, and telling all you out there and telling you, it's like you should probably check this guy out and listen to some other stuff. He's been blocked off of YouTube, a lot of other platforms, and this doctor is spot on. Yeah. About the vaccines and whatnot. So I'm going to try this again and see if this is the real reason why. Because if I already got a warning after over 100 videos I've done. I finally got a warning with this one. It's kind of funny how they can, we could have child porn and all this shit and things about,
Okay, I think it's best if I just add the link in the description, basically. I'll just add the link in the description so people can watch this video for themselves if they want to. Don't want to risk losing my video. I think Dr. Vernon Coleman is awesome as well. And it's great that there are doctors that are standing up for truth. So, Kiss for Single Ladies would like one. Thank you all for watching. Please like, share and subscribe this and or other important videos on my channel Perfect Society. And may peace be with you all. Stand up for truth and spread these important truths we must spread for a better future, to have a future, to give humans a chance. So what else is there? Is there anything else that's really important? I can check the chat. If anybody wrote anything interesting in the chat, which I doubt. I have to rebuild up the viewer audience. 7 playbacks, average watch time 5.24 minutes, 1 like already. Wow, cool. Crystal, shame and peace. Rum said hi. Okay. Cannabis can only be eaten and you can only verify 2 YouTube accounts per year. Thank you all for watching. See you next time. Please share, like and subscribe. I'm Ulrich Hoffman. Till next time on Perfect Society. Over and out.